I never thought the smallest decision of my life would echo across the stars. Back then I was just a salvage pilot, working the fringe routes beyond mapped human space. No medals, no rank, just a worn ship, a quiet conscience, and a job that kept me fed. The galaxy was full of abandoned wrecks and forgotten stations, remnants of wars no one bothered to remember. That's where I found her. The distress signal was weak, barely detectable beneath cosmic interference. Fading. Most pilots would have ignored it. Signals like that usually led to debris. Or worse. But I was tired that day. Tired of passing by suffering because it wasn't profitable. So I followed it. The source was a fractured escape pod drifting near a dead moon, its hull cracked and frozen. No power. No transponder. I matched velocity and cut my engines, drifting close enough to see inside. That's when I saw movement. I forced the pod open manually, venting the remaining atmosphere into space. Inside, curled against the cold metal, was a small alien girl. She couldn't have been more than 8 or 9 by human standards. Her skin shimmered faintly, patterned with soft bioluminescent markings that pulsed weakly. Her eyes opened slowly when the light hit her face, wide, frightened, and far too aware for someone so young. She tried to crawl away. "It's okay," I said, my voice shaking inside my helmet. "I'm not going to hurt you." She didn't understand my words, but she understood my tone. Her breathing slowed. Her species, later I would learn they were called Aurelians, were rare even in council space. Diplomatic, long-lived, not known for wandering alone in escape pods, which meant something had gone terribly wrong. I wrapped her in a thermal blanket and carried her into my ship. My medbay wasn't designed for her biology, but it was warm and it was safe. For 3 days I kept her alive. I rerouted power, modified nutrient gels, spent hours translating fragments of her language through outdated databases. She watched me the entire time, silent, observant, afraid but curious. When she finally spoke, it wasn't with sound. It was with emotion. A wave of gratitude so strong it nearly knocked me off my feet. Her name, I learned, was Sally. She had been separated from a diplomatic convoy attacked by pirates. Her family gone. Her pod ejected to save her life. I couldn't take her to an Aurelian world. Their space was sealed, protected by protocols I didn't have clearance for. And the council? Well, the council didn't move quickly for lone survivors. So I did the only thing I could. I took her to Haven Reach, a neutral station known for refugee processing. It took weeks of arguments, signatures, and threats before the authorities agreed to transfer her safely. The day they took her from my ship, she clung to my sleeve. Her markings glowed brighter than I'd ever seen. "I will remember," she told me, her emotions brushing against my mind like a promise. I smiled and waved as they led her away. And then she was gone. Years passed. Life moved on the way it always does, quietly, without ceremony. My ship aged. My hair grayed. Salvage runs turned into courier jobs. The galaxy forgot my name if it ever knew it. Sometimes late at night, I wondered what became of Sally. I assumed she had returned to her people, lived a full life, forgotten the human who found her drifting in the dark. That was fine. Kindness doesn't need repayment. Then one evening, my ship received an unidentified priority docking request. The signature was diplomatic. A-level. Impossible for someone like me. Before I could refuse, control was overridden. A sleek, radiant vessel docked alongside mine, crafted from living crystal and flowing light. Aurelian design. My heart skipped. The airlock opened, and she walked in. She was taller now, graceful, radiant, her bioluminescent markings flowing across her skin like constellations in motion. Her eyes met mine, and I recognized them instantly. "Sally," I whispered. She smiled, not with her mind this time but with her face. "Yes," she said aloud, her voice melodic and confident. "I have returned." I couldn't speak. Years collapsed into a single moment. "You saved my life," she continued. "Not because you were ordered to. Not because it benefited you. But because you chose to." I shrugged weakly. "Anyone would've." "No," she said gently. "They would not have." She told me her story then. How she had been reunited with distant relatives. How the Aurelians had watched humanity from afar, curious but cautious. How my action, small and undocumented, had been recorded in their cultural memory. "To us," she said, "a life freely given help is sacred." She stepped aside, and the ship's interior shimmered to life, revealing holographic projections, star maps, energy grids, diplomatic seals. "My people have authorized a gift," Sally said. "A reward." I laughed nervously. "I don't need." "You misunderstand," she interrupted, smiling. "The reward wasn't wealth. It was access. Aurelian star charts. Safe passages through regions thought impassable. Medical technology centuries ahead of ours. And most importantly, an open diplomatic channel between our species. All because you refused to leave a child in the dark," Sally said. I felt my throat tighten. "I didn't do it for this." "I know," she replied softly. "That is why you were chosen." Before she left, she placed her hand over mine. The familiar warmth returned, not overwhelming this time but comforting. Kindness echoes, her presence whispered. Even across years, even across stars. Her ship departed, leaving my small vessel drifting once more among the endless lights of space. But the galaxy felt different now. Not larger, kinder. I went back to work after that. Still a pilot. Still unnoticed. But sometimes when I answer a distress signal no one else will, I think of a frightened alien girl in a broken escape pod. And I remember, you never know who will come back.